with University Grant Commission is he it is a environmental studies and a compulsory course paper for BSc, BA, BAS, LB, BSW, BCA, BVA, BCom, BBA, BHM, BTTM, and other courses. So yeah, this is a UGC. It is an it has 4 units. It has a 4 units. So here the module consists of 4 units. So here I'm here. Welcome back to my channel. I am here with your environmental studies topic, where we are going to study about the environmental studies and what are the important questions and what is the pattern of the question paper for environmental studies of degree students of SCP syllabus. Okay. So yeah, this video is made only because many students were requesting me for uh, giving some important questions on environmental studies. So here it is a compulsory paper. It consists of 4 modules, 45 lectures, and classroom based field work. So here environmental studies is necessary to understand the environment in the totally to enable the students to participate in the causes of environment. So proactively for the preventing the causes of environment. So it is a compulsory paper for the students of BSc, BA, BA, BSLB, BSW, BCA, BAW, BVA of first year, and BCom all courses, and BBA all courses of BHM and BTTM of second semester in SCP. So here we have it is both important for first year and second semester, and also it is helpful for SCP students who have the NEP students who have already having a paper of environmental studies. Eligibility to have an environmental studies to study take a topic of environmental studies, the candidate should be minimum qualified in MSc and okay, this one not required. Escape. Hello students, welcome back to my channel. Today I am here to present environmental studies for degree students. I'm going to discuss about the question paper pattern and how many hours of question paper and some important questions and the topics of the environmental studies. So yeah, we have University Grant UGC, that is the board of degree student. Here it is, we have 4 units in this chapter, and it is a total 45 lectures. So environmental studies is very important for understanding the environment, and it's enabled to the students to participate in proactively causes of the environment. So environmental studies is very important topic, and it is there for BSc, BA, BASLB, SLP, BSW, BCA, BVA for first semester of SCP, BCom, BBA and BHM and BTTM of all courses for second semester of SCP syllabus. So here, the summation of the marks distribution is given as the weightage. The weightage of the paper is, you'll be having assignment test for 5 mark, and you'll be having the assignment and attendance will be for 5 mark, and total the internal marks will be for 10 marks, and the remaining will be term and examination paper will be of 40 marks. The minimum marks will be based on the examination 40%, that is 60 in marks will be there here. Section A will be having short answers, section B will be having medium answers, and section C will be having long answers. So the question paper will be divided into 3 sections, and it is for 40 marks. Duration of the exam will be 1.5 hour, and teaching hour per week will be 3 hours. So here environmental studies, you have 3 hours per week. The exam duration will be for 1.5 hour, and you have total marks is for 50. That is 40 will be your paper and 10 will be your internals. Then you have the subjects and topics here. The unit 1 has introduction of environmental studies. These are the important topics which you will be studying. That is ecosystem, uh, terrestrial ecosystem, aquatic ecosystem. Then you have second unit will be having natural resources, renewable and non-renewable resources, land resources, forest resources, water resources, energy resource, diversity and conservations, and threats to biodiversity. These are the 2 units, and then the third unit is environmental pollutions. You will be learning about the environmental policies and practices, and then in unit 4 it will be human communities and environments. Disaster management, environmental movements, and environmental ethics and fieldwork. So yeah, you have again that is your internal marks will be 10 marks, and your exam paper will be for 40 marks. So these are the important books which you can refer for studying about the environmental studies. So the question pattern will be in this way. That will be for 40 mark. You'll be having a section A which will be of a short answer questions. That will be for 2 mark each. You have to attend 5 questions. It is all 5 questions you have to attend them. And in the section B you have medium answers. That will be, you have to answer any 4. Each question will be carrying 4 marks. That will be 5 marks, and it will be 4 into 5 will be 20 marks. Second one will be for 20 mark, and the third one is long answer questions. You will be having 2 questions, and you have to answer any one question carry 10 marks. So it will be total, it will be 40 mark question paper, and it is for both. It is the same question pattern of first and second semester. So this is a department of BCA academic year 23-24. You'll be having even for NEP syllabus and for ACP syllabus, first semester 2024 and 25 batch. The subject is environmental science, and year is first year and first semester. So these are the important courses where there will be environmental studies has been compulsory, made as a compulsory paper. So here we have first unit, introduction of environmental studies, section A. So you have 2 mark questions. It will be defined environmental studies. Environmental studies is the study of the interactions between the physical, chemical, and biological components of the earth environment and their effects on organism including humans. Defined biosphere. The biosphere refer to the part of earth where life exists. pressing all living organism and their interaction with the atmosphere, lithosphere and hydrosphere. Atmosphere, it's all about the atmosphere, the one where the air is present. The lithosphere is the land, and hydrosphere is the space, that is the sky. Like, and what is the lithosphere? A lithosphere is the outermost solid layer of the earth, consists of the crust and the uppermost metal, which is involved in the tectonic activities. What is a hydrosphere? Hydrosphere includes all the water bodies on earth, such as ocean, river, lakes, groundwater, and glaciers, as well as water in the atmosphere. What is atmosphere? Atmosphere is the gaseous surroundings of the earth, composed of layers such as tropo, troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere, which protect life and regulate the climate. So yeah, five mark questions will be explained briefly with a neat diagram the component or level of the environment. The environment comprises four major components, that will be lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere and biosphere. The ozone of life interacting with the other components. So here it includes we have to show the diagram to show the components here. Okay. So here the next one is the multidisciplinary nature of the environmental science, scope and importance of environmental science. So a multidisciplinary nature is environmental studies is a integrated knowledge from a multiple disciplines such as biology, chemistry, physics, uh, geology, geography, economics and sociology to understand the environmental problems and solutions. So, scopes are conservation of natural resources, environmental education and awareness, pollution control and management, understanding environmental laws and policies. Importance: promotes sustainability development, enhance awareness of environmental challenges, and encourages responsibilities towards the nature. Explain environmental sustainability and sustainable environment. So, what is mean by environmental sustainability? It is the practice of using natural resources responsible so that they are conserved for the future generations. It focus on maintaining ecological balances. Sustainable environment is sustainable development is development that meets the need of the present without compromising the ability of the future generations to meet their own needs. So it has here economical growth, social influence, environmental protection. Then you have a second chapter is ecosystem. In ecosystem you have ecology. Ecology is a branch of biology that studies the interacting between the organism and their environment, include both living abiotic and non-living abiotic components. So defined ecosystem. Ecosystem is a functional unit of nature compressing living organism biotic components interacting with the non-living environments, that is abiotic component is in a defined area. What is a food chain? A food chain is a linear sequence of organism where energy and nutrition flow through consumption, starting from the producer plants and moving through the primary, secondary and tertiary consumers. Defined ecological succession. Ecological succession is a natural process by which a ecosystem changes and develop over time, involving the gradual replacement of one community by another until a stable climax community is reached. Then five mark question you have defined components of ecosystem and enlist them. Components of ecosystem. An ecosystem has two main components. So it is abiotic and biotic. What is abiotic? Non-living factors like sunlight, temperature, water, air, soil and minerals are called abiotic, which has no life. Biotic components: living organism, which includes producer, consumers and decomposer. Producers are autotrophics, that is plants, algae and other organisms that produce food wise photosynthesis. So then heterotrophic: herbivorous, carnivorous, omnivorous. Herbivorous, the animals which eat grass. Carnivorous, the animal which eat the flesh. And omnivorous, both the animals which eat both grass, that is grass, and that is plants and animals. And decomposer are the one bacteria which decomposes the dead bodies. Then decomposers are the fungi and bacteria that break down dead organic matter. Then you have explain energy flow in an ecosystem with a neat diagram. So here we have explanation where it says energy flow is in one direction in an ecosystem starting from the sun. Producer: plants convert solar energy into a chemical energy via photosynthesis. Then primary consumer: herbivores that eat plants. Secondary consumer: carnivores that feeds on herbivores. Territory consumers are carnivores that feed on both carnivores and herbivores. Then decomposes break down the organism matter, turning nutrition to the soil. So here we need to draw a energy flow with a topical level. So here this is a energy flow with a topical level, that is green plants, and then herbivorous, then carnivorous, then secondary carnivorous, and then the vulture, eagle, lion and tigers. Okay. uh, Predators, decomposers, and then bacteria. So yeah, next is difference between a food chain and a food web. Food chain is a linear sequence of energy transfer, simple and specific, fewer organisms involved. Then food web is a network of interconnecting food chains, complex and realistic, represents multiple feeding relationship. What is mean by forest ecosystem and their components? Biotic components: sun, air, water, soil and temperature. Biotic components: producers, trees, sh- herbs, shrubs, herbs and algae. Consumers: primary herbivores like deer and insects. Secondary carnivores like snakes. Territory: predictor predict predictors like tigers. Then composers: fungi, bacteria and bacteria and tetritivorous. Then grassland ecosystem and their components. Biotic components: sun, air, soil and seasonal rainfall are called as a grassland ecosystem, and their components are biotic components: producer grasses, shrubs and small plants. Consumer: primary herbivores like cattle and rabbits. Secondary carnivores like fox. Then territory predators like have hawks. Then composers: fungi and bacteria and earthworms. Then desert ecosystem and their components. Abiotic components: extreme temperature, in extreme temperature with a low rainfall, sand and sunlights, which lives in there. That biotic components are producers: cactus and etc. Consumers are primary herbivores like camels and ro- rodents. And secondary is carnivore like snakes, and territories is predators like eagles. Composers are bacteria and fungi adapted to uh, adic conditions. Then you have aquatic ecosystem and their components. Abiotic components like water, sunlight, dissolved oxygen, and minerals are called as a aquatic ecosystem. Biotic components are producers that are cytoplankton, planktons, algae, and aquatic plants. Consumers are primary zooplanktons and small fishes, secondary large fish and amphibians, and territory is predators like sharks and aquatic birds. Decomposer bacteria and fungi in aquatic environment. So here the question bank for unit 3 is natural resources and renewable and non-renewable resources. What is a land degradations and soil erosion, desertification and deforestation, causes, effects and their preventions. So land degradation is nothing but the decline in the productive capacity of land due to the human activity or natural processes. Causes overgrazing, deforestation, industrialization, overcultivation, and affects a loss of arable land, reduced agricultural productivity, habitat disaster, destruction. Uh, Prevention, afforestation, sustainability, farming practices, soil conservation. Then soil erosion, the removal of topsoil by water, wind, and human activity. Causes overgrazing, deforestation, poor farming methods. Then effects are loss of fertility, sedimentation in water bodies, and desertification. Prevention, control, plugging, uh, terracing, planting over crops. Desertification, the transformation of fertile land into the desert due to the climate changes or human activity actions. Causes overgrazing, deforestation, excessive farming. Then effects are for food insecurity, loss of biodiversity, water scarcity. Prevention, reforestation, controlled grazing, uses of uh, drought resistant crops. Deforestation, the large scale removal of forest for agriculture, industrial, and urban use, causes logging, agricultural expansions, urbanization. Then affects loss of biodiversity, climate change, increase in soil erosion. Prevention, afforestation, strict laws, sustainable forestry practices. So dams as a water storage, it uses and disadvantages. So here uses are water supply. It should be stored. Water should be stored for domestic industry and agriculture uses. Irrigation, ensuring year-around water supply for the crops. Hydropower, generating electricity from the water flow. Flood control, regulate river flow during the heavy rain. Then recreation and tourism. Uh, Reservoirs provide opportunities for water sports and tourism. Then disadvantages: environmental impact, submerge forest and ecosystem, affecting flora and fauna. Displacement, force relocation of communities. Then seta- Cetacean, reducing storage capacity due to the sediment accumulation. Then altered river ecosystem, impact aquatic biodiversity and natural flow. Cost high, construction and maintenance cost. Then what are the short notes on floods and drought? The floods are nothing but the overflow of water on to normally dry land caused by the heavy rainfall, river overflow, or the dam failure. Causes monsoons, cyclones, deforestation, poor draining systems. Effect loss of life and property, waterborne diseases. displacement of people, prevention, constructing levels, dams and flood walls, afforestation, proper drainage system, drought, prolonged period of insufficient rainfall leading to water scarcity, causes climate change, deforestation, overuse of water resources, affect crop failure, farm loss of biodiversity,
For
eco
example, solar
economy.
energy, wind energy, hydropower, biomass, geothermal energy. Advantages are they are eco-friendly, sustainable, low carbon footprint. Disadvantages are high initial cost, reliance on the weather conditions, solar and wind. Then non-renewable energy resources, resources that cannot be easily found in the nature on a human time scale. So here, for example, coal, petroleum, natural gas, nuclear energy. Advantages: high energy density, well established infrastructure. Then disadvantages are environmental pollution, finite supply, contribution to climate change. Then you have alternative energy resource and their growing needs. So alternative energy are energy resources other than fossil fuels that are cleaner and sustainable. For example, it includes the solar energy, that is energy which is obtained from the sunlight, wind energy generated by converting wind into electricity using the turbines, and here solar energy harnessed from the sunlight using the photovoltaic cells. Then you have geothermal energy, is from the heat which is generated by the heat stored behind the earth's surface. Then biomass energy produced by the burning organic matter like plants waste and manures. Then growing needs for the alternative energy, climate change mitigation, reducing greenhouse gas emission. Then energy security, reduces dependency of the on the fossil fuels. Resources depletion, addresses the infinite nature of non-renewable resources. Sustainability is provides a long-term energy solutions for the growing population. Then a conservation of the pro biodiversity. What is biodiversity? Biodiversity refers to the variety of life forms on earth, including plant, animal, bioorganism and the ecosystem in which they exist. Types of biodiversities: we have genetic diversity, that is variability in a genes within a species, different breeds of dog, uh, rice varieties. Then species diversity, variety of species within the region, that is different species of birds on the forest. Ecosystem diversity, variety of ecosystem in the region, forest, wetlands, grasslands and desert. Then threats to biodiversity, you have a natural threat, that is climate and natural disaster, climate change and natural disaster. And anthropogenic threats, that is habitat loss, fragmentations due to the deforestation, urbanization and agriculture, over exploitation, over fishing, hunting and logging. Then pollution, industrial and agricultural waste leads to the air, water and soil pollution. Invasive species, non-native species out competing native species like water high cyanide. Then climate change, rising temperature and altered weather patterns, disturbing habitats. Then you have uh, biogeographical regions of India. So these are the some biogeographical regions of India. There are 10 important regions where you have trends: Himalayas, Indian desert, semi-Arctic zones, Western Ghats, Deccan
Peninsula, then Gangetic Plains, northeast India, islands like Andaman, Nicobar, Nicobar and Lakshadweep, then coasts. Then you have state of biodiversity in India, hotspots of biodiversity, India as a mega biodiversity nation. Status of biodiversity in India is India hosts around 7 to 8% of global biodiversity, despite covering by only 2.4% of the world land area. Over 45,000 species of plants and 91,000 species of animal has been recorded. Hospital diversity in India are India has four biodiversity hotspot: Himalayas, Indo-Burma region, Western Ghats, then Sundar lands, Nicobar Islands. Then India has a mega biodiversity nations, one of the 17th mega biodiversity country in the world, home to diverse ecosystem like mangroves, coral reefs, deserts, and forest. Then you have conservation of biodiversity and its categories. So you have biodiversity conservation is the practice of protecting and managing biodiversity to ensure its sustainability. Categories are in suit conservation, protecting biodiversity within its natural habitat, like a biosphere, reservoirs, national park, and wildland sanctuaries. Then Exosuit conservation, protecting biodiversity outside its natural habitats like zoo, botanic gardens, seed banks, and gene, gene banks. Then biosphere reservoirs and their list in the India. Then biosphere reservoirs are the area designed. Reservoirs are the area designed to conserve biodiversity, promote research, and encourage sustainable development. Components are core zone, strictly protected for biodiversity conservation. Buffer zone surrounds the core zone, allows limited human activity. Transition zone permits sustainable economic activities. Then biosphere reservoirs in India are Nilgiri Biosphere Reservoir, Sundarbans, Gulf of Mannar, Nanda Devi, Nokrek, Simplipal, Augusta Himalaya. Augusta Himalaya. Then your ecosystem and biodiversity services. So ecosystem and biodiversity services are benefits that human drives from the ecosystem and uh, biodiversities. Types of services are provisioning services like direct product from the ecosystem, food, water, and timber. Regulating services like regulation of ecosystem processes like climate regulation and flood control. Cultural services like non material benefits, recreation, uh, spiritual value. Supporting services essential for other services, nutrient cycles, and soil formations. So chapter 5 is about the environmental pollution. So what is mean by pollution? Pollution is the introduction of the harmful substances or pollutants into the environment, causing adverse effect on their living organism and the ecosystem. Types of pollution: we have air pollution, which is caused by the harmful gases, particulates, and the and the chemicals. Water pollutions are contamination of water bodies like river, lakes, and oceans. Soil pollution, degradation of land quality due to the harmful chemical waste and human activity. Noise pollution, excessive and harmful level of sound disturbing human and animal life. Chemical pollution, realizing of releasing of a toxic chemical into the environment. Nuclear pollution, emission of radioactive substances causing long term damage. Air pollution, so causes of air pollution and their control. Emission from the vehicle, industrial discharge of harmful gases, burning of fossil fuels, coal and oil, agricultural activities, use of pesticides, natural causes, volcano eruptions, and forest fires. Control measure, use of cleaner fuels like CNG and LPG, implementation of emission control and control knobs for industry, promoting public transport and carpooling, planting trees to absorb carbon dioxide, using air purification technologies. Then water pollution and their causes and their control. Causes are industrial influencing discharge into the water bodies, then agricultural runoff containing fertilizers and pesticides, sewage and the wastage dumping, oil spills in ocean, thermal pollution from the power plants. Then control, how to control them: treating industries and domestic wastewater from discharge, promoting organic farming to reduce chemical of runoff, implementing strict regulations for waste disposals, cleaning and desalting water bodies, regulating, awareness campaigning for the sustainability of water use. Then soil pollution, excessive use of chemical fertilizers and the pesticides, industrial waste and dumping on land, deforestation and mining activities, plastic and non biodegradable waste accumulation, oil spill in and leaks. Adopting sustainable farming practice, recycling and proper waste management, promoting organic fertilizers and the pesticides, implementing soil erosion and control methods, conducting soil remediations and the cleanup programs. Chemical pollution causes, releasing of toxic chemical from the industry, agriculture runoff containing pesticides and herbicides, improper disposal of household and industrial chemical, accidental spills or leakage of hazardous hazardous substances, mining and extraction activities. Control, strict enforcement of chemical waste disposal law, use of eco-friendly chemical and alternatives, ensuring proper storage and handling of chemical, regular regular monitoring of industrial activities, educating the people about chemical hazards. So noise pollution, industrial and machinery and constructional activities, traffic noise from vehicle, loudspeakers and entertainment systems, air plants and railways, urbanization and overcrowded area. Enforcing noise pollution regulations, using soundproof material in construction, limiting the use of loudspeakers in the public space, promoting green space to reduce the noise level, encouraging awareness about the noise pollution impacts. What is a nuclear hazards? Nuclear hazards refer to the risk associated with the release of radioactive material from the nuclear power plant, weapons testing, or accidental leaks. The causes are nuclear power plants, accidents, improper disposal of radioactive waste, mining and processing of uranium, testing of nuclear weapons. Effects long term environmental contamination, genetic mutation and cancer, soil and water contamination, loss of biodiversity in affected area. Prevention: strict safety protocols in nuclear plants, proper storage and disposal of radioactive waste, monitoring radiation level near nuclear sites, and international cooperation to prevent misuse of nuclear technology. What is mean by social waste management? Social waste management includes the collection, transportation, processing, recycling, and disposal of soil waste in a safe and sustainable manner. There are some steps. It is waste collection, then segregation, separating biodegradable, recycling, and hazardous waste, then transportation, moving waste to treatment or disposal sites, processing, recycling, and composting the to reduce waste, decomposal, safe decomposal in landfills or uh, landfills. So methods of waste decomposal is landfills, incineration, decomposting, and recycling. Benefits of solid waste management is reducing pollution and environmental hazards, conserving nature resources through recycling, generating energy from the waste, biogas. Then, chapter 6, you have environmental pollution practices, chemical changes, and chemical climate. It is an average weather of the area. It is a general weather condition, seasonal variation and of the region. The average of such condition for a long period is called as climate. Causes are presence of greenhouse gases like atmosphere, increasing global temperature, depletion of an ozone layer, increasing the global temperature, effects of climate change, small climate change, dispute, agriculture, which leads to the migration of animals and humans. Climate change may upset the hydrological cycle, which results in the floods and droughts in different parts of the world. Then global warming, global pattern of wind or ocean currents also gets disturbed by the chemical change. Greenhouse effect. The greenhouse effect: atmosphere, greenhouse gases in the atmosphere are transparent to the light but observe IR radiation. This gases allow sunlight to penetrate the atmosphere and are observed by the earth surface. This sunlight is radiated back as IR, which is observed by gases. As a result, the earth's surface and lower atmosphere become warm. This is called as global warming. Effect of global warming: level sea level increasing as a result of melting and thermal expansion of ocean. High CO2 level in the atmosphere have a long term negative effects on crop production and forest growth. Global rainfall pattern with the change, drought and floods, which becomes more. A rising temperature with increases domestic water damage many plants and animal species, which has a problem depending. Many will be at the risk of existence more varieties will thrive. As our earth become warmer, the floods and runoff becomes more frequent, there would be an increase in the waterborne diseases. Ozone gas is present in the atmosphere. It is a high concentrated at the uh, stratosphere between 0 to 50 kilometer above the sea level and is called as ozone layer. So the importance of ozone layer is it filters the UV B radiations, and and nowadays it's certain part of O3 layers are becoming thicker, or O3 has older form. Because of this, UVB radiation reaches the earth surface. UVB radiation affects DNA molecules, causing damage to the outer cells of the plants and animals. Then the causes are depletion of refrigerators, refrigerators, air conditions, aerosol sprays, and cleaning solvents, releasing CFC into the atmosphere. Effects: UV rays causes skin cancer. Increasing the rate of non-melanin skin cancer is fair color colored people. Prolonged exposure to UV ray leads to the slow blindness and cataracts. Effects of aquatic system: UV rays affect cytoplanktons, fish, larvae, crabs. Then cytoplanktons consumes a large amount of CO2. Decreasing in phytoplanktons results in the more CO2 in the atmosphere. This contributes the global warming. The normal control measures are um, man- manufacturing and using of O3 depleting chemicals should be stopped. Environmental laws: there are strict laws for the environment to protect the environment. So here, environment pollution, there are certain of the state government has for the following laws which will be followed for the every citizen, should be followed by every citizen of the nation, and is to be sustained development. Environmental Protect Act, it is given in November 1998, the birth anniversary of the of our late important features or late important features of this acts are: this act empowered the government, lay down the produced and safeguard the for the prevention of the accident which causes pollution and the remedial measures accident occurs. The government has the government authority to close and prohibit, regulate any industry or any its operation of its violation of a provision of this act occurs. Violation of act is punishable with imprisonment for 5 years or a fine of 1 lakh or both. Air preventions. Air prevention is the act was enacted in the conference held by Stockholm. It endeavors the establishment of central and state control boards to monitor air quality and pollution control. So important feature are: the central board may lay down the sustained standard of quality of air. The central board cooperates and settle the disputes between the state boards, provides the technical sustain for guiding the state board, and empowers to lay down the sustainable for emission of the air pollution from the industries or other resources. The state board are examined for manufacturing resources and control equipments for the presi- prescribed standard. Violation of law is punishable with the imprisonment of for the 3 years or fine 10,000 or both. This application to applies to all the pollution industries. This act empowers the state board to control closure of any industries and or to stoppage supply water supply and stoppage of electricity. Water prevention and their control. So here we can prevent water by establishing any industries, then treatment and disposal of system, extension, addiction, addition which lies discharge or drain influence into a stream or a well or a river on the land, to use any new or alternate outlets for the discharge of sewage, to make any new discharge of sewage. The act also empowers the state board to order, close or stoppable of supply of electricity, water or any other service to the polluting water. Wildlife Protect Act 1990s 1972. The act was embedded in 1983, 1986, and 1991. This act is aimed to prevent all the animals and plants that are domesticized, protected, protected, uh, and protected. And important feature, the act covers the right and non-rights for forest dwellers. The allow restriction grazing in sensation, but prohibiting it into the national park. Forest conservation in 1980, the act was enhanced in 1980. The aim was to prevent the forest deforestation. This act covers all types of forest involving reserved forest, protective forest, and any forest land. So features of these reserving forest service shall not that are reserved without permission of the central government. The forest land may not be used in the forest purposes. This act stopped illegal activities within the forest area. International agreement. The Montreal Protocol of Substances is a protocol signed by the nation in order to stop or reduce the production of a number of sustainable believers to the corresponding for ozone and depletion. It is believed that if the international agreement is adhered to, the ozone layer is expected to recover its in 2050. It has been ratified by 196 states. Kyoto Protocol is a protocol in the United National Framework Conservation on Climate Change. Is an international environmental treaty which grow of activity sustainability of greenhouse industry international with the climate system. The five important principal concepts of the Kyoto Protocol is communication communities to reduce the greenhouse gases, community for all member countries, implication to meet the protocol, observe objectivities to preserve prepare policies and measure which reduces the greenhouse gases and implicating observation and their gases. Minimum implement implies the developing areas by establishing an adoption fund for the chemical changes, accounting, recomposing and review to ensure the integrating of to the protocol. The chemical weapons, so they are chemical weapons prohibited. What are the feature? Prohibition and destructions and destruction of the chemical weapons, natural reservoirs and tribal population and rights. A natural reservoir, also known as the natural reservoir, bio reservoir, natural reservoir, or natural reservoir, is a produced area of important for flora, fungi, and features of geological or other species. In interest which is reserved and managed for the conservation and to review the ensure the integrating of the fruit. So then you have chemical weapons prohibiting sector. and natural reservoirs that tribute is natural resources and natural reserve for me designed by government institution in some countries or by the private landowners such that the charity and research institution regardless of nationality natural and global natural and global benefits overweight to cost for the local livelihood. Territory, populations, and rights. The group of people organized around kinship who live or work together is represented as the social and evolution. Educational and character safeguards. You have a act. These are some acts which will be representing the rights for the tributary population in the rights, and these are a few more which you can go through prohibiting act 23, act 24, act 20 164, act 33, act 37. The human and wildlife conflict in India's consent. You can just go through with the paper, and here results of human life wildlife is crop dimension animal death belongs even of an injury to people injury to work wildlife livestock depredation solutions for reducing human interactions and wildlife conflicts fencing land use planning livestock protection avoid splitting and out after drinking. Important questions are some of the questions are given here. Just go through with this. Then you have some human population and environmental science of growth. This is a last chapter. So here population group of individual belonging to belonging to the at the given time population growth results from the difference between the rate of birth and death, the population density, number of individual of population per unit area volume, then impact of population growth or economic, generation of waste, threats of biodegradation, sustain on forest, urbanization, then industrial, then land degradation, transport development, climate changes, productivity, environment, and technological presence. So all these points are given in the two sheets. Go through with that points. Human health and awareness. Physically fit person without suffering any disease called human person. Diseases harmful cases in such a case we can uh, body's conduct conditions by nutritional, biological, and chemical physiological factors and is called diseases. Important hazards and their health effects result in the bone chemical hazards and their health effects refers. So these are some hazards. We can just go through with this. Then step under control, under taken to control human welfare and development, control to the population growth, control to the population growth, control to population growth, economical development, improving health and nutrition, reducing poverty, and then removing sustainability, over all observing the settlement and rehabilitation is to ensure that the effective production based with the restored the effect labor force which will be employed, and income and livelihood of affected people will be improved, or at least restored to their private level before resettlement. Then resettlement and habitation. Resettlement gain a productive level which has a self sufficient after resettlement. The income per capita shall be covered to the standard before resettlement. The effect of public infrastructure, school, hospital, social, social welfare areas, natural environment, and traffic control shall improve the following resettlement. Resettlement principle under such a policy, a number of settlement and rehabilitation plans, primary principal has been deposit for the project. Plan will be based on the detained inventory for land acquisitions and house house demolition and de adopted compensations, standard and subsidies. So you can go through with this. Then you have disaster management. Here it is due to the rainfall, deforestation, and effects of water scarcity speeds in the surrounding area. Cultivating land gets affected. Examination of civilization, flood management. Floods can be controlled by dams. Channel management control floods. Floods harvest become reduces the by forecasting and for flood warning. Food may also be reduced to the reduction of runoff by increasing filtration through appropriate area afforestation in the catchable area. Landslides, it is called as a mass wasting or mass movement. Surroundings are consolidated Discernment hillsides are saturated rainfalls and water logging. Many landslides like places are considered earthquake. The following common ice slides are earthquake inside the landslides are some of the special rock files. Slides are rock fermented, and you have some they are the size of the area affected by the earthworm includes the landslide depending on the manufacture of the earth, land, house depth, the logical and geographical conditions near the causative fault, the emission effect, frequency compositions. So these are the some of the control how we have to control this. Then cyclones are caused by the atmosphere disturbance surrounding a low pressure area disturbing by the swift of other deconstructive area circulations. Then we have managing the circulation, construction of circulation shells, self drainage. Then early warning, dismutation. Then they are being adopted by the tract of the state and state to state based on the national cyclones risk mitigations project ncrmp been implemented through the world bank assessment assistance. So, earthquake occurs when the rock break and slip along the fault in the earth. So here they've given some causes and other things. You can just go through. Then effects of earthquake, ground shaking, liquefaction of sound, graph, displacement, flood, air, and tsunami. Control of the earth is also given. You can just go through with this. So you have given the important parts of this. Like, subscribe this channel if you like the video, and revise the chapter which I have given. The environmental statistics and the ethics is the branch of psychology, physiology. It deals with the moral and values, and they are the ethics of the roles of India and other chemical and environmental protection region. So environmental committees and public awareness. So here we have objective of public awareness, some to create awareness, to organize awareness, to focus on culture, to train our planners, to establish poverty. Environmental education might also implement to the student in the school and the college. Media like TV, radio, cable networks can educate people on environmental issues, that cartoon decompositors and street plants, which are the newspapers and magazines much public the environment problems. Voluntary organization arranging competitions and public leaders, farming public leaders. Important questions of this chapters are so many, you can go through. And special thanks for Professor Jayant Kumar P, Assistant Professor, and for providing the important notes for EVS and helping the student. Thank you, sir. Students, if you have understood and practiced, hopefully you get the